Luka Doncic called out to his coaches during a flurry of three-pointers from James Harden. The Mavericks superstar and NBA scoring champion wanted to defend the star guard of the Los Angeles Clippers. It's suddenly defense first in Dallas. Doncic had 22 points, 10 rebounds and 9 assists, and the defensive-minded Mavericks had a chippy 101-90 victory over the Clippers on Friday night to take a 2-1 lead in the first-round series. The Mavs rode the same defense that gave them home court advantage with a Game 2 victory in LA, and won in Dallas 3 years after losing all 3 first-round games on their floor in a 7-game loss to the Clippers. Game 4 is Sunday in Dallas. Daniel Gafford, Lively's tag team partner as a dunker and rim protector, had an emphatic block of a dunk attempt by Paul George early in the fourth quarter while Dallas was taking control for good in a game with 5 technical fouls, a flagrant foul and 2 ejections. Harden scored 21 points for the Clippers, but just 7 after halftime, while fellow stars George and Kawhi Leonard had little impact. Norman Powell also had 21, and Ivica Zubac had 19 points and 8 rebounds. But the Clippers had 19 turnovers and the Mavericks had 7 blocks, 3 of them from Gafford and 2 from Lively. George dealt with foul trouble and finished with 7 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 fouls. Leonard never looked comfortable in his second game back after missing 9 games with right knee inflammation and had 9 points and 9 rebounds. Kyrie Irving picked up his 4th foul early in the second half before scoring 19 of his 21 points in the final 13-plus minutes, including 8 in the final 1:18 of the third quarter. Doncic's co-star was instrumental in Dallas rebuilding an 18-point lead that had been cut to 6. An already testy game reached a boiling point midway through the fourth quarter when Russell Westbrook slung Doncic around after fouling him. Westbrook was called for a technical for that contact and for shoving P.J. Washington after Washington confronted him. Washington also was called for a tech during the sequence, and already had one from an earlier shoving match with Terrence Mann. Westbrook, who in the first half got a flagrant 1 foul for excessive contact when fouling Josh Green on a breakaway, and Washington were ejected. Westbrook, who missed all 7 shots and scored 1 point, drew the ire of the crowd one other time when he bowled over Doncic after Zubac was called for a foul as Doncic went up for a shot. Harden scored 12 of his 14 first-half points with 4 three-pointers in a 3-minute span starting in the final second of the first quarter. He didn't score again until the final minute of the third as the Clippers finished with 19 turnovers while also losing their composure. Tyrese Haliburton completed a 3-point play with 1.6 seconds left, capping his first postseason triple-double in his first home playoff game to give the Indiana Pacers a 121-118 overtime victory over the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday night. Indiana leads the best-of-7 series 2-1, with Game 4 on Sunday in Indianapolis. Two-time league MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo again sat out for Milwaukee because of a strained left calf. Haliburton had 18 points, 16 assists and 10 rebounds. Miles Turner added 29 points and 9 rebounds, both playoff career highs, to help give Indiana its first back-to-back postseason wins since taking 3 straight in the 2014 Eastern Conference semifinals. The Pacers also have their first lead in the playoffs since Game 3 of a first-round matchup against Cleveland in 2018. Indiana hasn't won a series since reaching the 2014 Eastern Conference Finals. Milwaukee's Chris Middleton banked in a 3-pointer with 1.4 seconds to force overtime and had a chance to force a second overtime, but his 3 bounced off the side of the rim as the buzzer sounded. Middleton finished with a playoff career-high 42 points and had 10 rebounds and 5 assists after missing practice Thursday because of a sprained right ankle. Damian Lillard added 28 points and 8 assists, most coming after he hurt his left Achilles late in the first quarter. It was a wild finish in front of a festive crowd decked out in gold T-shirts for Indiana's first home playoff game since April 21, 2019, and with many local favorites in attendance. The crowd included former Indiana Fever newcomer Caitlin Clark, former Colts coach Tony Dungy, former Pacers forward Derek McKee and current Colts players Anthony Richardson, Kenny Moore II and E.J. But these fans never expected the experienced Bucks to methodically trim a 19-point first-half deficit to 90-83 after 3 quarters or to open the fourth on a 10-2 run to take a 95-92 lead on Bobby Portis Jr.'s putback early in the fourth. The teams then traded baskets, ties and leads over the final 7.5 minutes, with Pascal Siakam's putback with 19.1 seconds left giving the Pacers a seemingly safe 109-106 lead. but Siakam missed the ensuing free throw. Middleton answered with a mid-range and the three to tie it. Siakam's long three to win it hit off the back of the rim at the buzzer. It was more of the same in overtime, until Haliburton broke free for a 15-foot runner that drew a foul and led to the decisive three-point play. Bobby Portis Jr. finished with 17 points and 18 rebounds for the Bucks, while Siakam had 17 points and 9 rebounds for the Pacers. Anthony Edwards scored 36 points, Rudy Gobert added 19 points and 14 rebounds, and the Minnesota Timberwolves used a hot shooting third quarter to beat the Phoenix Suns 126-109 on Friday night and take a 3-0 lead in the first-round series. Minnesota goes for the sweep in Game 4 on Sunday in Phoenix. It was the third straight game the Wolves used a big third to turn a tight game into a comfortable victory. Minnesota hit 7 of 11 three-pointers during the surge, including 4 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, to take a 22-point lead into the fourth. Bradley Beal led the Suns with 28 points while Kevin Durant had 25 and Devin Booker 23. Minnesota had a 6-point halftime lead and stretched its advantage to 69-58 early in the third after back-to-back three-pointers from Mike Conley and Karl Anthony Towns. Late in the third, Alexander Walker hit his fourth three-pointer of the quarter for a 95-73 lead. The Wolves were also dominant on the glass, finishing with a 50-28 rebounding advantage. 6 Minnesota players scored in double figures. Towns finished with 18 points and 13 rebounds while Alexander Walker scored 16. The listless Suns could never cut the deficit to single digits in the fourth. Now they're one loss away from what would be a bitterly disappointing season after entering the year with championship aspirations. Phoenix's Josh Okogie was ejected late in the fourth after a hard foul on Gobert. The Timberwolves led 59-53 at the halftime break following a competitive first half. Edwards led the Wolves with 16 points while Durant had 14 for the Suns. Eric Gordon gave Phoenix a spark with 10 points in the first quarter, but it was short-lived. The Suns played without starting guard Grayson Allen, who led the NBA in three-point shooting percentage this season. Allen's dealing with a sprained ankle from Game 1 that he aggravated in Game 2.